you would see the side where the cell tower sits. You see another 5 acres added to the 5 acres that is already listed for Jeffrey. But now, that 5 acres is actually about 5.2 something acres. I don't know exactly what it says on there, but when the road was deeded as private drive, it added a little bit more acreage to it. The purpose of these divisions and the differences in sizes, for whatever reason, was more to try to make them monetarily the same in terms of gift. This is from my mother to the grandchildren. The third lot, since there was no easy, simple way to give Mary Ryan and BJ, they were landlocked up there on the top left-hand corner, if I assume. I'm just looking at it from this map, that's why I'm saying that. Yes. There was no way for them just to immediately be able to get into the property, so then there became third, and he's the one that likes to go down to the creek and set up on top of the hill with his bow and arrow during deer season and hunt. So he wanted to have some acreage, some of that acreage across that on the hillside. That's what that is. So then you have the final tract there, which will actually be Jackson's, which is my youngest boy, who doesn't have anything yet. He hadn't come along when this other was divided in the first place. Now it will be put in my name right now because that's the same way I actually had to do some of these others until they come of age so that they can own their land. His is 15 point something acres. The reason for that being is because so much of it's in the floodplain. As it stands, yes, each one of those front 3 spots that we just identified off of 186 and Wade's Way would actually allow at some point in time for a home or a house. I don't really think that I can't speak for Jackson. I know Mary Ryan, they plan on changing where she's at and putting in another house. They just, mother wanted to make sure they were all kind of treated the same. Sure. Jeffrey might be the one that would someday build something else there in terms of a home, just because he's the entrepreneur in the family. But if something were to be, and of course Jake's thing there is actually it's landlocked. It's all kind of tied together.
Yeah, I was going to say, but he has a piece up here.
You know, there'd have to be easements put in at some point if something other were to develop.
Sure.
But you know, it's been here all these years. We haven't actually developed any of those types of things. We not interested actually in that. I can't speak for the future. I can't speak for what their financial situation may be at some point in the future. I can't say that. I can tell you right now, and I've got to worry about it, except the one who has got his for sale, which is Justin, the second from the bottom, the second one that would come up.
For sale something now.
And the reason he wants this, the reason he's got it up for sale, because he lives here on the corner, right across from me and Wade's old house. And he wants to add on to that house because recently had it deeded over to him. So that's now his piece of property. I mean, that's his home. That's what he wants to make home. And he just wants the money so he can spend it on adding on to the house that he's got. That's the reason it is up for sale. The one on the far bottom down there, which, I mean, neither one of these are under discussion anyway, but I'm just telling you the kids so you know where they are. He's very happy with where he is, and he's down in Thomasville. He'll be there the rest of his life because they got a child, and he's got a wife, and his wife ain't coming up here because Thomasville is home, and so it's just going to be there, and it has a rental trailer on it.
Is he the coach?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the coach. So that's what we would like to do. That one requires the approval of the council because of Jake's piece of property being set down in a separate way. But other than that, as far as I know, it meets all the standards of the subdivision that was passed in March of 1990 for agricultural subdivision. And I didn't explain it well enough, I'll take your question.
Jeff, you said something about putting in the easement.
I'm gonna give BJ and Mary Ryan a trail to come through on the back side of Jeffrey's, right at the back side of Jeffrey's property. That would be right here. You see how it has to have a little spot right here, just so he could like get on his four-wheeler or ride down through there and get to his driveway right here, instead of having to come down and come off and any of those things. Everybody see kind of where I'm talking about this detail? Right here, see, we're talking about BJ has no way to get to his spot per se. Jeffrey is right here, and I said we just have to cut a little, you know, say have a four-wheel trail or whatever down the side. I think I might have showed you this afternoon. Yeah. And
Jeff, I think, you know, for future references and to keep things from happening in the future, that it should be a regular easement type thing. So if somebody, you know, would happen to sell the land, there'd be some way for somebody to get back to that.
oh well,
Yeah.
if it was sold, you are right, and an easement would need. I mean, assuming somebody wanted to buy both pieces, which I assume it would all be sold in one thing, because the only reason I can't even think of the reason for them to sell. In fact, the reason they got this particular piece instead of just getting more of the floodplain was they were hoping, you know, moms and dads and grandmas were all hoping that Mary Ryan would one day decide that she wanted to stay close to mom and build her house right there. That's the reason I had to design that the way I did. But yes, I'm going to put in for whatever intents and purposes, it's going to be there regardless. And I've had right-of-ways on a couple of other pieces of property in my lifetime that you're talking about, but and never had to worry about them being closed even after so, because they were open for so many years. It's just what it is. But I don't. Yeah, it's going to be there anyway, because that's what Mama wants. And she'd like to see it done while she is alive.
Sure.
And she is of the persuasion that she'd rather see him happy while she was here to see him happy than after she dies, and then they can go, oh, hey, thank you. So,
Amen.
Well, the reason I'm asking that, somebody is already going to sell, you know, Justin wants to sell.
yes, ma'am. And as I explained why he was selling, and it is open ground.
Right.
It doesn't have the home, the
But
residence.
in the future, you know, one of these guys that we don't know about may want to sell it, and so having the easement in there already would make it easier for everybody.
So what are you discussing
The
now?
easement
An easement
for back.
I can see
To
it.
get back to here.
To the
From-
landlocked piece.
Yeah.
Well, it's landlocked from the front
Front.
side. It's not landlocked down on the other road though.
Yeah.
It's still got an entranceway
Right,
coming in
on the
off
front,
of
yeah.
Wade. The only reason we're gonna cut that through that so they can just come through the woods just like they want to. What they want him to do. And I have officially bush hogged it for the last time. Do it themselves.
I don't see anything here that's right in line with what the charter says about how we do, not the charter, but the zoning ordinances says as to how we go about this sort of thing. I'd love to have at least a month to think about it, but I don't think there's a big deal. Anybody else
I think so.
thinking different? Yeah, seems pretty straightforward.
So are you saying you want a little time to think about it, or?
Well, I mean, what will we vote on tonight?
approval of preliminary plat.
Of the preliminary, or we're saying, yes, this is perfect, you can go straight forward with it, and we can't come back and change our minds about it. Unless,
That's something that wasn't in the ordinance.
see this one, it looks good to you. This would be my first major vote on a large piece of land like this.
It's not a piece of land that's being set aside to build a bunch of houses.
Right. Yeah, and like I said,
If it
everything
were,
I
you
see.
would have it all in 5 acre
Yep.
tracts.
Everything I
and
see looks.
You'd have a couple
looks
of
just fine. Yeah.
private drives going through there, coming off of the main highway and whatnot. And would even have sought out DOT approval because, you know, we wanted, I would have sought it out if that's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
For the access to the road.
No,
Which you'd also, if you ever notice, as you go down 186, you notice how far off the telephone poles are from the highway, which, that was just something I never did take the initiative because it never mattered. It still doesn't matter. That's the whole point of it. See, the right of way, the road used to be open. It comes circled up and then come back around, no way around close to Violet's driveway that goes into her home and all. And so that was the right of way from the 30s or whatever. When the 186 came in the 50s, then, and it was placed where it was, see, they never did move the telephone pole. When they put new poles in here 2 years ago.
Terribly long ago, yeah, the power company kept,
And
they kept it to their plan.
I would have said something then if I thought it was a problem.
Yeah.
But the only reason it would ever be a problem is if you weren't planning on building
Sure.
a subdivision. And so it's not, the pasture fence, I actually put it on the other side of the wood line there, just because I didn't want to, you know, put the cows so close to the schoolhouse, they might decide to go to school one day. I'm just saying.
Well, I make a motion to accept the preliminary plat or the architecture design for this division of the land as we discussed tonight.
Let's discuss. We have the motion as presented. Do we have a second? We do have a second. All in favor? That's unanimous.
I thank you. I'll have them print up another set that says final plat on it for your signature.
Yes.
And, you know, they'll just go on there.
But on the plat, Jeff, I would really like for it to say that, you know, this land is not being divided for sale as such.
Well, as I say, it's not being divided for sale.
Okay.
I can't say what these kids
At
will
the
do 20
present
years
time,
from now.
Yeah, at the present.
But it's not gonna happen no time soon, because if they really needed something, they would probably come to me and say, I really need something.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think me and you'll be around.
No, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You said you were gonna.
Yeah, I gotta be.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
When I was going through my
I'm sorry.
original papers on zoning and stuff, I happened to come across one letter from 1999 that I thought y'all might like to make a copy of or something, because this is the one I had to send into the state at the time. This was when it was addressing the issue of whether the town met the requirements of the town and whatnot. But I don't think we've really changed anything since then, and we haven't changed anything on the letter. So if y'all would like to take a look, you give me one back.
No, absolutely. Yeah. Keeping along those lines.
That was when we actually had some folks in Hickory Ridge that were wanting to close the town.
Yeah, in trying to get things together and move them over, I skimmed a bunch of stuff about that, but I didn't delve into any of it. But, yeah, do you need this back tonight, or?
No, sir, I just, at some point, I'd like to keep it with my stuff, just because
Gotcha.
I have 2 or 3 books that I have with.
Perfect. Yeah, I'd love to get a copy of it. If we don't already have a copy, I'll get Laura to do that and
But
get it back to
I
you.
can promise you, I don't have it in the computer anymore, because what the computer I would have used in 1999 been long.
Crash.
Well, okay,
Crowd getting little.
that's right. And we can move right along, I
It's getting late.
suppose. Next up, Mr. David Lawrence. if
You
he's
can just
interested.
wait for,
I would like to have Laura back, I suppose.
Okay.
She's doing the minutes.
Yeah,
I think
that's
Jesse's
fine.
gonna leave us now, but, yeah, so, yeah,
Good time for a
yeah,
bio.
perfect, there you go.
for what break?
Bio break.
Oh, okay.
Jeff, is this your first trip to the new building?
It is.
Yeah, what do you think?
I think it looks very nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like the blue tape on the wall.
Oh, that's just modern art.
That costs
That's for
$2,000.
TV, that's for TV.
I have a suggestion, y'all were talking about your walkway, and you didn't know where folks were gonna do.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
University of Georgia, an engineer over there, when I was taking class, at one point told me that, they had tried so many times to put walkways in, and they found out that there was no need for cement until you planted grass, and let the kids
See
figure
where
out
the
where
kids
they're gonna
walk.
walk.
Exactly.
And that's where you put the cement.
With grass did,
The late Jane Bath, is it? Made
yeah,
very good sense,
Yeah.
very logical.
yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed
The
that over the
methods
new,
and the
Keep it
ways,
simple.
keep it simple.
I like it.
I was also, I'm just throwing things out, because it's the first time I have been with in there. I also would think that it'd be, I don't know what your insurance company did when they insured the place and all that. I would have figured they would have said something about a sign or something to say, stay off the hill. You know, kids get up that and start
Yeah.
rolling down.
yeah, you're right about that too.
So whether you do or not, I don't know whether it's important.
They'll be back in the first
Is there a wall at the base of it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
an intentional.
Crunch, crunch. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not the jazz.
Okay, yeah, Mr. Lawrence, yes, I'd like to,
Thanks, sir. So I'm David Lawrence, I live right here at 175 Hillsborough Road. Over the last few years, and especially seeing you guys work on this project and knowing how much you put into what you do pro bono, I just started looking at a website that Laura probably should write down, y'all should note. It is, let me get it right, Georgia Department of Community Affairs. And if you just Google that, Georgia Department of Community Affairs, it gives a list of every municipality and the positions, usually mayor, town council, and mayor pro tem. And it gives the population of each township. Which, so I was looking at High Shoals, and it's got us at 733 roughly, a 2017 estimate of the population. And Laura, I'll leave this with you, but I made a kind of a hand enough time ago, an Excel document, but I'll leave this. Just to give you an idea, and I know this would have to go through an attorney and through an election process or two, or cycle it. I don't know how it works, but just to give you an idea, in Bogart, and Bogart's very different than here, but this is one of some Oconee townships. Bogart has a population of 1,100. Council members make, I was shocked when she said this, but $4,800 per year. The mayor makes $10,800 per year. That's in Bogart. Bogart is very different. Bogart is also, it might be 3 counties coming together there.
It should be, the third county just touches.
Okay, just touches the end, so it's at least 2. They also, contract out their own police, well, through Clark, Athens Clark. Bishop is probably a little bit more like this town, but it also has more major thoroughfare through it. Population 266 people. $50 per council member per occurrence, they call it, so I imagine that's.
Meeting.
Yeah, per meeting.
Called or regular, yeah.
Yeah. Mayor is $150 per meeting or occurrence.
You know, I was looking at the budget though, that's higher. In the budget in the Oak County Enterprise, the mayor gets $4,600 a year or something. Yeah, I was kind of shocked.
They may be meeting.
I was a little surprised,
Yeah.
yeah.
And they're two,
But,
there are a
yeah,
couple different ways to
just
look at it.
FYI.
Yeah, I don't know who's meeting twice a month on a regular, you know. Watkinsville, I don't even think it's worth comparing, but they're getting near 3,000 people. I couldn't find exactly what the council members are paid or the mayor real quickly. Good Hope, which I see is, you know, just one of the only 289, so about half, a little bit fewer than half the people. Their council members make $300 annually, and their mayor makes $500 annually. So, and you know, North High Shoals, 733 people, 0 and 0. So I'll just leave this with you. And Bob has been here for decades.
Well,
How about saying that?
you're 56, right?
Yeah,
You're 56 years old,
that's right.
and you've been here how long?
I'm a little older than you. Yeah.
That-
But, so I'm talking to
Just 10 years
Joe.
younger than my daddy, I'll put it that way.
Is Joe still your right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
attorney?
Mr. Ray.
So, you know, I understand that you want, I remember the last time I brought this up, a fellow named John McKay was on the council.
I never knew him, I heard
Yeah,
of him.
he was well off and had no interest in it. And I'm not saying that that's a lot of money. I'm saying if you were to get $35 to $50 per deal, you know, when y'all met, it might make, it might give the job a little bit more focus, a little bit more pith to what you're doing. You're not, to pay me $10 to haul off the trash, which takes 30 minutes maybe, and, you know, you come in, I'm about equity, and I just don't see this being equitable. It's something that you guys would have to talk about and discuss, and I would compare these numbers and just kind of come up with a reason, and the reason is the town's getting bigger, not drastically, but it's you know, I think it's a good thing and a necessary thing. When I looked at that website, you'll be alarmed that there are some towns that have, and I didn't quote them, but 150 residents, and those members are making $50 to come to meetings.
I was shocked.
And,
I went to the training session, you know, the new elected officials session, and there are towns with 500 people down south that have their own police forces.
Right.
I'm just shocked.
So we street
Like, how the hell do you afford that?
So, well, I think this town at one point had at least have a one patrol car.
We have on 2 different occasions, we had, back in the late 60s, we even had a jail.
Yeah, I remember Bert was the sheriff for a short time. Yeah.
Bert was the police chief.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, we had Frank. No, Frank. I can't even think. But anyway, we had him as hired as a patrolman in
Oh,
addition
Frank,
to
yeah.
sheriff.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
then to deputy sheriff.
Brooks.
There you go. We saw, we figured it out.
So something for you guys to consider and to compare, go to that website. You would be surprised. I don't think anybody on this council is here to make money. So if it really, you know, bothers you that that's the case, like it did John McKay, I would understand that position too. But there were a couple of years ago where I was, when I left council, I was trying to get some suckers, excuse me, some young ladies and gentlemen, but it was like pulling teeth.
Someone just stand in for you.
Yeah, and all the emails you answer, and all, you know, the stuff, the things that you did, you do. And I know that you're, here 2 days a week?
2.5.
2.5, okay. So I think there's gonna be a need for this. But
I think especially once this building is up and going
Yeah.
and we're renting it out and people using it
Well, some of
7 days a week.
Yeah,
They probably don't need
Yeah,
that.
it's gonna require a lot more time of a lot more of us
Yeah. So-
You know, which, you know, when the time comes, maybe you say, hey, well, it's not my, I was signed up
But
for.
we
it.
have to
Yeah.
wait, we cannot vote ourselves a pay
Correct.
raise.
Yeah,
Correct.
my understanding is that if we voted tonight for a pay raise, nobody would get anything for 2 years until the next election. Regularly scheduled election, and then only those 2 or 3 who were up for election.
We get it.
And then it would take another 2 years for the other 2 or 3.
Right.
Yeah, which, yeah, I get it, it makes sense. It's,
That's my understanding
yeah.
of how it works.
So
Only
it's-
Congress has that power.
It's a slow process, so,
Except
yeah,
you
you're
don't.
right. I mean, if you're, if you think it's the right thing, and especially if you think you're not interested in doing it anymore, but you want somebody to try to take your place, it might be worth thinking about and looking into. Because,
But first, I think we need to see how much this building is gonna cost to run, because we're gonna have additional expenses and stuff, you know, so I'd like to wait maybe a year for.
oh, again, it's gonna be a minimum
Yeah.
2 years.
Right.
Yeah. So,
So I just want to
again,
do some fine, you know, some.
no, that's very much appreciated.
Looking for
Appreciate you
you.
bringing that up, and, yeah.
Know that you're appreciated, so. Like I said, it's all
That's
about,
right.
to me, equity. You're paying someone to, you know, a lot of money to do this, that, and the other. When you can get pro bono, like, this bad, that's incredible.
That's about
That's not always gonna happen.
$600-800.
Right.
Yeah. So
That's 800 more than you made
Plus her order.
Yeah.
being a council member for North High Shoals.
Correct.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
For all
Yeah,
these
thank
years,
you.
yes, thank you,
Sorry,
David, yeah,
sorry,
appreciate
Lee,
that.
I'm gonna
Appreciate
run.
that.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, I'm thinking about,
Yeah.
again, nothing changes immediately, which is as it should be.
The process is, we would vote for that.
Yeah, we would make a, we'd vote to say, okay, the next person who gets elected to council
Would
will
we
make
have
this
to
happen.
advertise that?
I suspect you should, yes. And I'm almost sure you would have to anyway.
Yeah.
That being the point, yeah. But again, and I'm not sure if you could just get the next 2 people, because we just did the 3, if you know what I mean. The mayor and 2, then there's 2. So we just did the 3. So even if we voted it for the 2, they may have to wait 6 years. 4 years. Until the other 3 caught up
Yes.
before it kicked in.
This 4,
Yeah.
this 4,
Yeah.
this for the other, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, yeah, literally, you can't
2
make
elections,
yourself
right.
rich.
Yeah.
At least not in North High Shoals, do
It's still these.
Thank you.
Thanks,
I'm
sir.
gonna go.
Thank you.
I did want to say one thing that I didn't say during the preliminary, so I want to make sure I didn't make nobody mad at me before I got started.
Yeah.
But that was about the old city hall, that if you do decide, either to rent it out or to outright sell it,
Right.
that the church would be interested in.
Oh, okay, interesting. Good, thank you. Yeah.
Thank y'all.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Have a good night.
Good too. So, yeah, there's no need to take action tonight, I think, unless you just want to.
No, we can sell the city hall, I thought. We gotta look into that very carefully, because as I remember, it was a gift to us and it reverts back.
I don't think we want to anyway.
No, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying, I think it was a gift to the town
Right.
and it reverts back.
Okay.
That's my
Understood.
memory
Yeah.
somewhere, and we have to really go through the records and check that out.
Oh, that's nice to know, that the church would be
That-
interested.
Yeah, I mean, it would be,
The
And
future
I-
police station.
I remember
Do what?
Future police
Yeah,
station.
I remember Paul brought up something about the pay too. When he was on, I remember.
Oh, yeah. Listen, it's not a bad idea.
But he said no, because he thought it was a service.
But, you know,
Community service.
remember, I mean, when I came on
Mayor.
board, hadn't you been looking for a mayor for a year and a half?
Yeah,
I mean, I looked at the website,
You know what I mean?
yeah, the mayor at least needs someone.
99% of the towns pay their council.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
I
it's
don't
not like
think it's an awful thing to think about.
Yeah.
no, it's not an awful thing, but I like it in the respect that I'm not taking anything from
Yeah.
the tax base. That's the way I look at it. But as we get more and more involved, I mean, the hours I put in, you couldn't pay me
I was
for.
gonna say,
Yeah.
I spent my last year, I spent more time doing stuff in this town than I spent, the year I made $120,000.
Yeah.
So,
Labor law.
Yeah, there are pros
Yeah.
and cons to it.
but I think it's worth looking into just because, not that I'm going anywhere, but when I showed up, my understanding was you guys have been looking for a mayor for a year. And Mike trying to leave,
Oh,
trying to
right,
leave,
yeah.
trying to leave, and just couldn't leave because no one was interested.
Right.
This term is out.
And it might
Yeah.
affect that. Of course, you don't want someone to show up just to try to get $50 a month. Anyway, yeah, it's good that he brought it up. I think it's worth discussion.
You can't leave and take my replace.
Exactly. So, yeah, think about it. But no need for action. I don't think unless you disagree tonight. Rental agreement for the new town hall. Has anybody had a chance to look over these?
I think some of us did not do our homework.
I did not even.
Yeah.
I didn't at all
Good.
until today, and I started looking at it and I thought, because my process is to copy all the content from a document, put it in a new document, and then, well, I don't like that. I like this, but I'll change this word, that kind of thing, and they're all PDFs, and I don't have that software. So anyway, I think,
Shoot it off to me, I've got that software.
hell, I'll buy it and let the town pay for it, but I think,
Only $20.
yeah, it's not terribly expensive. It's just,
But I can do it, I can do it tomorrow if you want me to do it.
Well, then, yeah, that's what I would want personally. But I think the way to approach this is to get a document together saying, this is what North High Shoals wants to do. And then, these are what other people have done, and then you can look at it and say, well, I want to add this, and I don't think we need this, kind of thing. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
And I thought that Bishop document
Yeah.
would start as a good base.
Yeah,
I thought it had the pieces to it.
Right.
Things I didn't think of.
right.
I was looking at a lot of ones online. I should probably send you my garbled little.
Yes.
But I was doing some little bullet statements one night, because I knew the deadline was like Monday, she said, or something like that, so I sent some of those, but.
The only one who did send anything is,
Thank you. But it was like,
He's got a bunch of excuses for the rest of us.
Yeah.
but it was like,
Yeah.
no gambling, no professional wrestling, no
Right.
amplified speakers,
No,
just
no, I
weird
mean,
stuff
like
like
how
that,
deep how deep do you dive?
Yeah, and then nothing after 11.
No
or
cleaning
times.
fish.
Did we have a bishop?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. Did I get that back to you?
All I got is Bogart.
Or maybe that's what I was looking
But
at.
it's- but-
Because I had my-
Bogart.
But I
Yeah, that's what I was
suspect
both
that's
are, not
our
big.
path forward, is to come up with a single document,
Yeah.
pass it around to everyone, get your 2 cents worth, and then vote at the next meeting. It's gotta be the next meeting. You cannot put this off.
Did we have
Another
the
month.
bishop one?
I was looking at, I made a mistake. I said
Yeah,
Bogart.
but we may get the one from Bishop. It's a little simpler.
We cannot put this off another month. It's got to be done so we can go ahead and start
yeah, I get
letting
phone
people
calls
use their building.
weekly about
Yeah.
when are you guys gonna rent it, how much is it gonna cost?
Yeah.
what are the
Alcohol,
particulars?
charging at the
Yeah,
entrance.
so we have to do it. So here's what I
Service
propose,
animals.
unless you have a better idea. And I actually kind of enjoy these sort of things. I would like to get the software and then get all the information together, put a document together for the town of North Shoals, send it around for your input. And then at next month's meeting, you vote yes or you say, yes, this is what we're gonna do. And then from October, whatever it is, forward, people are allowed to rent this space for this amount of money, etc. Does that?
Yeah, can we have it like midway, so I have time to look at it?
Well, what I'm saying is, we're
Midway
gonna do
before the
it,
next
we're gonna
meeting.
send it all to you, I'll drive it over to you, or we'll get together, let you look at it. But yeah, at the next meeting, you will be up to speed, everybody will be up to speed. We'll discuss it and then vote.
We could even just do like a bare bones one and then just, if that doesn't work, we can add on to it.
Yeah, that'd probably be the way anyway,
Yeah.
yes. Like, this is what we start with, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, we have to decide whether we allow alcohol.
Well, that's what I'm saying, I'm gonna put all that together.
Definitely no smoking,
Just-
yeah.
Yeah.
And then we need to get with, I mean, it's just brainstorming Tina to see how much she might would charge, you know, clean up after.
Yeah, I've talked to her about that.
She
She's a
does
cleaning
a lot.
woman, she is, yeah. Yeah, as I left it, well, let's let people start renting it and you'll see what you're up against
Okay.
and we'll renegotiate. She's doing well right now, I think
Yeah.
personally, for what she does. Hopefully, it'll come back more center,
Yeah.
but we'll see.
Well, I can convert that document tomorrow. I can do it tonight.
I mean, if you get to, I mean, I have an email with
It's
6
in
or
my
7.
email. Okay. Well,
Yeah,
Yeah.
if I could get all of those in a Word document or
Just
whatever,
email them to me, I'll do it in the morning.
that'd be ideal.
Now, I don't, depending on the shape of the documents,
Right.
conversion, sometimes.
Yeah, I just be able to go through there and highlight a line and drag it to the new
Will you see some
official
of that?
stuff.
Yes. Yeah, when you send it, CC Laura, then I'll just
Yeah.
reply.
Perfect. But yeah, we got to, people are trying to start.
If
to get it on.
we can't, I mean, I just as soon have a meeting just to work on that, so it's ready to vote on instead of discussing it at the next.
Yeah, no, the next meeting's gonna be a different vote, so yeah, maybe, we will need to have a special.
So we
call
have
meeting.
it outlined and, you know.
Let me
ready
put it
to go.
together and send it around, and
Okay.
then look at it and say, wait a minute, we need to talk, or.
Yeah,
And we
okay.
need a couple, we'd have.
So we're ready to go and we're just not discussing it at the
No,
next
no,
meeting.
I agree.
It's ready to vote on.
You're right.
Yes.
Okay, that's my plan then. Create it, pass it around, and then,
The phone call I got today about it was for a bridal shower in November.
Oh my gosh.
So just, the thing is, just put it out there that people are thinking about it in that way for not just parties and things like that, but a bridal.
Hmm.
This person was from Bostwick, so they won't be able to rent it anyway, which I did not
Yeah,
tell
I
them,
get,
because you guys haven't officially said that
we
yet.
haven't, but I'll maintain that. I think we gotta limit it this first year.
At least.
We've
Right.
got to work out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All the
yeah.
details.
Way too many things to figure out.
Because, you know, people are gonna be asking their friends that live here to rent it too. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Yeah.
For them.
Well, it's a, you know, it's a wink, wink, nudge, nudge, when people ask me, it's like, well, we're not checking IDs at the door. If you have a friend who's willing to put their name to
Right.
sign a piece of paper saying they're responsible
Yeah.
Right.
financially,
Yeah,
you know,
that's true.
that's fine.
And I don't think $150 is, I mean, I've looked at some of the other stuff online, I think that that's reasonable.
Yeah.
For saying that was too much. I
For
don't
the
think-
fee?
Yeah,
That's what, because I know Bogart's was 200, right?
yeah.
And $150
Yeah.
deposit.
I've been slacking.
I mean, unless it's just like for a couple hours or something like that, or.
Yeah. Some places have, you know, rented, yeah,
You're right.
you know, you get it
Do
all day for.
they
X
limit it
price
to
or-
their citizens? Do any of the documents
Yes,
limit?
yes, yeah.
Or hourly.
The one was from like 8 AM till midnight. Quite the party.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
let's get party, let's go.
Right, yeah, my gosh. Yeah. Okay, so nice.
Probably up for a work session.
Yeah.
They can on a Monday night, get that TV in here.
Yeah, just
Kill
do
two
like
birds
a-
with one stone. Watch
bring like
football.
a little Flip chart, yeah, right, everybody's right, brainstorm, just go down.
Right, we did that in a lot of meetings, I can write on
Yeah.
the wall.
Mhm, yeah. I'm fine.
I mean, I'm willing to meet
Yeah.
and get it done so that the next
Yeah.
meeting we just go, this is
That's
That's
it.
what we're talking
Yeah.
about, yeah.
Does it have to be advertised?
Yeah.
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 Work
That's what I
session.
just learned about.
Work
Yeah.
session,
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
work session.
How was the training? Pretty good?
It was very good.
Was
I
it
learned-
here?
It was at UGA. so
Yeah.
it's all both.
That's where mine was. I didn't have to
Yeah.
go very far.
Yeah.
No, it was, I learned some things, some interesting things. Anytime there are 4 of you together talking about
No, we
town
can't be
business.
together.
Yeah.
We can't.
It's a
Actually,
quorum,
yeah.
and it, I
Isn't
can get
it-
an open
isn't it
records.
3?
We have to be 4 for a quorum.
Yeah,
4 for a quorum?
Yep.
Yeah.
It could be, I could get an open records request
Yeah.
to figure out what you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
So,
At-
please don't
Red House.
discuss town business when there are 4 of you together.
Right.
we know, we know that very well.
We had a.
We'll have to
we
meet
had,
in the Mills.
One guy called us out at the fire department, one night we were having a dinner up there. He was the
Yeah.
fire chief or something like that, he goes, you guys are, you know, but we weren't talking. Remember that when we were up at the firehouse and we were eating?
Yeah.
That
thought we needed
fire
three
chief
for
was
a
like,
quorum.
yeah, there's too many guys together sitting over there.
Because we were missing one.
Oh, yeah.
They're like,
Yeah.
Oh,
It had to be 4 because,
you're right.
A mayor and then 3.
yeah.
yeah.
Mayor and 3 councilmen,
Yep.
got it.
You guys can hang
I was
out
just thinking of the
as long as
council.
you'll discuss town business,
Talk.
right? And you can't meet in a car to circumvent the open records request and discuss town business in a car on a road trip. Can't talk about that.
But we can be in the same 100-yard space.
Yes, just don't
Okay.
talk about town business. So, that was.
Um, New Town Hall. It can't remain New Town Hall, it has to be called something. What are we gonna call
Down
it?
at North High Shoals.
No, the building. Is it?
Town Hall.
All right, here's
Government center.
Community Center and Town Hall.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
That's how I like to phrase it, because it's, you know, the
Yeah.
people's building, but we also meet here for meetings.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's kind of clunky. Is there a better way to say that? Well, we have to settle on something.
Center and town hall.
Yeah.
Multi-purpose building for town hall.
I
That's
don't like
funky.
multi-purpose, but you know, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So do we have to have town hall in it?
Necessarily, but it should convey
That it's.
that
a
it's the
government
main building, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for something, this is where you
Town
start.
of North High Shoals, maybe, no. Scratch that. What is the, internet thing?
It sounded like a train was coming. It's like-
Yeah. Maybe the
Okay,
What does it say? Something security?
you don't wanna say government complex, that's too.
No, I hate that.
Yeah, that's too, yuck, so. I wanna say something catchy, but that includes both community and
Brief and two,
business,
yeah.
yeah. And that's needed the source there. Yep.
I mean, worst case, you know, I could call it Town of High Shoals Town Hall, and then people would say, oh, we're gonna rent the town hall for our big dance, you know, which would be, it'd be okay, but I'd love to get the, you know, people's buildings.
Another,
first.
yeah, or besides community center, I mean, there's gotta
Yeah.
be another term.
What do we do
Yeah.
before our Google?
Oh, yeah, no kidding.
There's 243 synonyms for town hall.
Community center, like you said.
Royalty?
Hall, town center.
Grange, the
Can't even
Grange
pronounce that.
building.
Yeah.
Maybe town hall.
Valle Temiento? Town square.
The Zocalo.
watering hole.
Gathering space, what was that for the Indians, what do they call it?
Meeting house.
Indians.
We're Quakers.
Very New England, yeah.
Community center.
Meeting house, that's not bad. Shoals
Or
meeting
northern.
house.
That's
Sounds like a
southern
good city.
meeting place.
Rock house.
Paula was saying, yeah, no, the government complex.
Meeting house.
Should sound inviting, but a little officious if you need to be.
Yeah.
We do government here.
Well, let's think about it, look at the thesaurus and the.
City center,
Whatever.
Right, we are in the center, almost the exact geographic center of the town. It's fact.
High Shoals Town Center.
It's not bad. It's,
City Hall.
Because it is, I mean, town center with two, community and government.
That's right.
Kinda seems like it's shopping though.
Oh, yeah,
True.
huh?
You
Town
know,
center.
North Actual's town center, buy some seats.
Meeting space. Park and community center.
And town hall.
Yeah.
It's gotta be, yeah.
And kitchen.
Let's have a name like this, okay.
Make it so there's an acronym. PAC.
Large public
PAC.
Large
The PAC. Park.
High Shoals, large
That
public.
shows the people's house.
Brothel.
Conference hall. No, we don't allow that in my house.
You just can't rent the place for that.
For rent.
To be continued.
Yeah, I think to be continued.
Why don't we send a little group text or group thing around when we just, decide to.
Be sure center.
This can't be that difficult. Let's do it, and then we know.
Meeting house, community center. Maxwell.
It sounds like something from Harry Potter.
Community center.
We're sort of like.
No, it's not meeting house.
I do like the feel of that word, meeting house.
Looks like a house.
Yeah, it is.